Hi, everybody. Jennifer from The Profitable Agent joining you today live on December 10th, wanting to talk to you today about GCI. You know, most agents can tell you what their GCI is, but very few can actually tell you what their real income is. If you feel like you should be making more, you're not alone. 90% of the agents that I actually deal with and talk to on a weekly basis complain about the same thing, actually. I got to tell you a little bit about my story. I'm sure those of you that have been listening and watching a long time already know this, but for those of you that are new, that maybe haven't followed along with our story, I want to share with you today. So 6 years ago, I've been a business owner for 10 years, but 6 years ago, before I found Profit First, I was $20,000 in debt. I had 2 staff members that were asking me the same questions day in and day out and day in and day out. And I was just overwhelmed. I was working more than I wanted to. I had $20,000 in credit card debt that I thought I was putting money on every month, but somehow my Visa always ended up higher at the end of the month than whatever money I was throwing at it. I could not understand. I was working so hard. And yet had nothing to show for it other than debt. So once I saw my real numbers, everything really changed for me. And part of that real numbers was doing my own Profit First assessment and understanding just really where my money actually goes. So let's be honest. There are lots of hidden costs that realtors never seem to track. These can be transaction prep creep. That could be sign installations, fuel, admin stuff, small things, maybe a lot of Amazon purchases. We're in an ever increasing digital world, and whatever you want, you can just order it and not necessarily think about whether or not it's something your business can afford right in that moment. The next thing would be subscriptions, whether that's paying for CRMs that you don't use. Maybe you're paying for software that you don't use, like Canva for like creating your logo and things like that. So many realtors I know get signed up and attend a lot of training during the year. So what they do is they get signed up on their free promo. They enter their credit card details, and before you know it, within 3 months, they're paying for something that they don't even utilize. Whether that's, again, CRMs that you're paying for but not using, software that you're paying for but not using. Maybe you've got extra lock boxes and you don't know what to do with all those things. These are expensive tools that you have. And so making sure that we're being intentional with where the money is going is super important. Again, we could have split surprises, whether that's brokerage fees, franchise fees, deal fees, whatever have you. The market spend, again, random boosts. Listing, staging. Staging is huge, especially right now in 2025 with the market the way that it's been going. A lot of realtors are paying for staging. And if a home is sitting on market for 30, 60, and 90 days, the staging costs can oftentimes equate what you get in commission for the property. And that can be a scary thought to a realtor. And one thing that I know a lot of realtors and even myself are guilty of this as well is not thinking about taxes, whether that's your HST obligation, whether that's paying personal tax or corporate tax. It's the future you will decide that, right? So future you has to deal with those problems. And again, I've been guilty of this in the past as well. I've had my taxes filed every year for my business, but that does not mean that I've always been able to pay them off every single year until I, again, intentionally started saving for that purpose. So again, it's not the big expenses, it's the little tiny leaks. Now, we actually have a poll in our video today asking you what that looks like for you. I don't know how to pull it up on the chat, but make sure you check out the poll and comment clarity if you are interested in really learning what your true numbers are and not just knowing what your GCI is. And for those of you that don't even know what GCI is gross commission income. That's all the commission that you bring in throughout the course of the year. And again, that's the gross amount. That's before your brokerage splits. That's before your accounting fees and everything else that the brokerage takes from you. Anyways, so again, it's not the big expenses. It's the little money leaks. when you're spending $100 here, $100 there, it's crazy how much that can add up to, like tens of thousands of dollars over the course of a year. I promise you, it absolutely can. I think I shared this a couple of weeks ago on a call, but I've just had a recent chat with someone a month or so ago, and I literally was able to help them save $600 a month just because they were paying for storage, in Google and Microsoft and. They had 2 CRMs. And then they actually had a third one that was free by their brokerage. So looking at what's important and what tools you actually utilize in your business. Again, we're not saying you cannot have these tools. It's important for us to have tools. I know I'm a digital person myself. I have so many softwares that we pay for. And again, I'm even guilty of oversubscribing to things too. However, I do audits on myself and I make sure that it's something that I can catch more regularly. So an entire year doesn't have to go by before I notice that's, kind of going on in my business. So why most agents actually misjudge their income? Well, it can be confusing with having cash in the bank versus, thinking about what your actual income is. So looking at your GCI over the course of the year versus what you actually have available to you right now is always such a big difference. Having irregular paychecks definitely leads to false confidence, because if you had a really great summer, that's awesome, right? Maybe you got a $50,000 month, but what about the next 2 or 3 months where you maybe had one lease agreement, you got $1,800 coming in, or maybe nothing at all? That is definitely the life of a realtor. It's always feast and famine. And so we want to get you guys off this roller coaster and truly help you see where your money's going and make a plan for your future as well. So you're not having this false confidence, or you're, again, overestimating your next deal. Maybe you're thinking, hey, I'm getting that $50,000 commission coming in next month, so I'll be all good. Keep in mind that you're probably not thinking about the fact that you should be saving your HST in that as well. And that could be huge. This causes shame, which leads to avoidance, which makes you have money fog. And we would love to help you lift that fog. Again, that's really the goal of all these videos that we do, is to help give you actual, true, like real world tips and tricks every single day that you can implement today and tomorrow and make a habit in your business, so that this time next year, you're in a much better position than you are today. Again, we want to remove the shame. We want to remove the avoidance, and we want to lift that money fog for you. So DM Clarity in the comments below if you are interested in learning more about how to work with us. So how can you really see your numbers? Well, I'm going to suggest something to you, and this is something, again, you can do right now. So pull your last 3 months worth of bank statements, print them off, highlight everything that was not essential, add it up. That is why you feel broke. Again, this could be hundreds of dollars in a month. Maybe you're making unnecessary purchases. Maybe you're overspending in client gifts based on the commission that you're getting. Again, if you really want clarity and not guesses, I can absolutely help you build a plan that you'll actually stick to. DM Clarity below, answer that poll. We'd love to hear from you guys. Or again, reach out to us at info@theprofitableagent.ca. We want you to have a profitable 2025, but also start 2026 off strong. I do want to remind you guys, we have tons of free resources on our website, theprofitableagent.ca. We have video walkthroughs. We have downloads for you. We are always looking for ways of giving back to the real estate community, because the real estate community is honestly awesome. You're a bunch of passionate people who love what you do, and we want to help you truly succeed and really change the name of the game in real estate. We would love to help you keep more of your hard-earned commission. So if you're interested, reach out to us. If not, we will see you all again next week for our final 2025 tip of and live of 2025. We'll see you soon. Bye.